So, one thing that happened in the past 24 hours was actually last like 12 hours. Lurantis got a move upgrade. Okay, so Lurantis had Razor Leaf, but it also got Fury Cutter in the past 12 hours. It also picked up Leaf Blade and Superpower. It can also learn X Scissor, another 35 energy move, Leaf Storm, which is a nuking grass move. So looking at its charge moves, okay, let's look at it separately. Let's look at fast moves. Razor Leaf, high damage, low energy generation, reliable, stab, you know, if you want to tear through things, it's just another Razor Leafer. But you also have a Razor Leafer with a 35 energy charge move. So as a Razor Leafer, Lurantis is actually pretty good. It's like Victory Bell without the psychic type weakness. But you also lose to Charm because you're not resisting Fairy. On the other hand, you have Fury Cutter, which is 2 damage per turn, 4 energy per turn. So it is a high energy generation fast move, which will let you get to a lot of Leaf Blades, a lot of Leaf Storms if that's what you want, and a lot of X Scissors if that's what you want. But for charge moves, there's no two ways about it. Leaf Blade has stab. It is the best 35 energy move in the game. It deals more damage than a lot of moves that are at 50 energy. That is how good Leaf Blade is at 35 energy. So Leaf Blade is going to be your primary charge move. So there's no reason to double up on the grass type. So between Leaf Blade and Leaf Storm, Leaf Storm's more expensive. Leaf Storm has a debuff. So we just... Leaf Blade's reliable, cheap, hurts like a truck. We'll stick with Leaf Blade. We don't need more than one source of grass type damage, which is also why we don't need Razor Leaf. So let's stick with Fury Cutter. So now that we've factored out Razor Leaf, we factored out Leaf Storm, let's look at maybe X Scissor. It's another 35 energy move. You have bug type fast move, but it's not really a damage dealing bug type move. So maybe X Scissor could come in handy every once in a while. Could definitely come in handy every once in a while, because if you're against something like a Venusaur, Leaf Blade's double resisted. Superpower single resisted. So Fury Cutter, X Scissor could help against certain grass type Pokemon for sure. But because Leaf Blade is just a better move by a mile, and has stab, let's look at the damage difference between these moves against a neutral target such as Vigoroth. Let me flip it to the right side so we can see the numbers. So Leaf Blade does 1.77 damage per energy. You would think another 35 energy move, non-stab, maybe does a little bit less, right? It does almost half the amount of damage for the same amount of energy. 33 damage for X Scissor, 62 damage for Leaf Blade. So that means a resisted Leaf Blade will deal more damage than a neutral X Scissor. So let's... Hypno. Okay, so neutral Leaf Blade does 50 damage. Okay, perfect. Neutral damage, Leaf Blade. So you go like, oh, super effective X Scissor must do more damage, right? Nope. Super effective X Scissor still does less damage. And there, I have made my case after struggling for like a solid 3 minutes. Leaf Blade is better even if it is resisted, or one stage behind X Scissor. So, in that case, if it's resisted and still better, we never really need to throw X Scissor half the time. So in this case, your primary moveset for Lurantis is going to be Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade, and Superpower. When I looked at Lurantis in previous streams, we talked about how it is just probably going to be a worse version of Meganium. Meganium has bulkier stats, same typing, better fast move, better charge moves in probably most cases, unless I've very specifically stated unless Lurantis gets Leaf Blade plus a really good coverage move like Earthquake, it won't be viable. And in this case, the very rare case of Niantic actually making something viable, Leaf Blade is a better move than Frenzy Plant in a lot of cases because it is cheaper. And 2, Superpower is as good of a coverage move as Earthquake. Earthquake is a 65 energy nuke against steel types, against rock types. It's a great coverage move. But it also is expensive. Superpower kind of has similar drawbacks or like different forms of drawbacks. Superpower provides that same steel type coverage, but it is cheaper, but it also has a damage and defense debuff. So it's a different kind of coverage move. You are going to be using both Earthquake and Superpower in their own ways, but they are both just as effective. And as for the primary charge move being Frenzy Plant and Leaf Blade, they are both just as effective. In terms of energy generation, Vine Whip and Fury Cutter are the same. So in some cases, I'd argue Meganium is still slightly better, but there are cases where Superpower might be a better move because it's not as expensive. And maybe going for a Leaf Blade plus Superpower is enough. But yeah, this is one of the very rare cases of Niantic making something really viable right off the bat. And Fury Cutter plus Leaf Blade is enough to scare a lot of people. Scare a lot.